All right. Welcome back to the Grid City Press Podcast. We're back here with episode 2 with the fellas. How are you boys doing?
Good.
Doing well. I'm doing really, really good.
If you're new here, I'm Charlie.
I'm Oliver.
I'm Harper. I'm Ethan.
And we're Grid City Press. Second episode here. We're super excited to get into all things Utah Mammoth, Utah Jazz, Utah Utes, and Real Salt Lake. On the agenda for the episode, we're going to start off with Ethan. He's got the Hockey Club shirt on. He's going to lead us through the Mammoth segment. Then we're going to jump into RSL, where I will be leading the RSL corner. And then Harper's going to take over the reins with the Utah Jazz segment. And then Oliver's going to close us off with the Utah football segment. Anyway, how was your boys' weekend?
Phenomenal. Great wins from a lot of teams this weekend. So
spoiler alert: some of our teams may have won last night.
May have won, yeah. Might be pretty happy. So
it was a great sports weekend for
yeah,
everybody.
It really was.
Especially almost all our teams.
Yeah. Anyway, let's jump right to the Mammoth segment. Ethan, take it away.
Welcome to the Utah Mammoth segment of the Grid City Press. I'm going to get us started with our season opener against Colorado. I just want to start off by saying I thought it was a great game. While we did lose 2-1 to Colorado, there were a lot of good things to take from this. And something we got to think about is that Colorado already did play a game this season before our game against them. So they had, the game to iron out the wrinkles and get things going. They absolutely mollywopped the Kings. I mean, they just destroyed the Kings, scraped the floor with them. So I wouldn't even say that this loss is really anything to hang our heads about. I think we should be very happy with this. I'm very proud of this game. I just want to get started by saying that I think the defense looked amazing, especially against, a Stanley contender like this. We held the game to 1-0 for a really long time and stopped Colorado from taking shots on goal for a very long time as well. I don't know, maybe like 20 minutes or so. We stopped them from taking even a shot on goal. So, beautiful stuff. Killed 2 penalties as well. I think our penalty kill over these last 2 games, very, very good. Very great job all around. This is honestly the type of performance I feel like puts us on the map and shows the NHL what we can do. I think we got no questions asked. I don't want to say anything too early, but I'm going to stick with saying that we're a wild card team, but I think this is the kind of performance that can put us in a playoff spot.
I like it.
I like it too, yeah. I completely agree. We looked really good in that Colorado game. Yeah, just like Ethan said, we lost, but that's a good team, and to be able to put up a performance like that, especially at home, that's a tough place to play. So,
yeah, going into Colorado.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think I'll talk about it more in the RSL corner, but yeah, a 1-0 lead in sports is just, in those sports like soccer and hockey, it's just tricky because like the Avalanche going up 1-0, it's just like, it's really hard for that losing team to get over the hump to match that game because, let's be honest, if you go up 1-0, you can kind of park the bus in a way. You have control of the game, and it's really hard. That's why whoever strikes first is super important because punch to the face like that, it can be hard to bounce back.
In my eyes, and Oliver, I want to go to you on this. In soccer, a lot of people say, a 1-0 lead really isn't much because it only takes 1 to tie it, and really your lead's only safe after maybe 3 goals. How do you feel maybe if the Mammoth are up 1-0 in Colorado? How are you still feeling against a team like this? Do you feel confident with the game, or do you still feel kind of nervous?
Very confident, especially since we got some really good goal scorers. Do you guys want to walk us through that goal?
Yeah, I just want to make one more point before we maybe move on to that. I think, the difference between like soccer and hockey mainly, like soccer, I feel like it's harder to come back down 1-0. Hockey, you go up on something like a power play where you're up a guy,
Sure.
and that's big. So like special teams become more of a role, especially in a sport like this.
True.
But yeah, Ethan, take us through that first goal of the Mammoth tying that game up against Colorado.
We got a goal. Dylan Gunther scores the first goal of the season like he did last season. This is the second time he's made the first goal of the season. You'd love to see it. Dylan Gunther, over the last 2 games, he's been really good. He's getting GOAT status up there.
He really is.
Clayton Keller with the assist. It's a really nice goal. That was a good build-up. Colorado, it was a game-tying goal. It was really good for us. What do you feel like makes goals like this so hard to come by throughout a game like Colorado? Because, I feel like this is kind of our hardest game of our season so far, maybe of all season. What do you feel like makes goals like this not so frequent? Like, we only scored 1, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think that was a power play goal. It was right off a face-off. Clayton Keller just passed it right over to Gunther, like right behind just the left face-off circle, and he just ripped one. He's just really well known for stuff like that. Like, if he gets any sort of separation on a power play, he's just gonna rip one and put it behind you. So he's just a great goal scorer. I think it's really important, to have guys who can flip the momentum like that. And Dylan Gunther's one of those guys. He can, even if you're playing bad, one wrong move from the Avalanche defense, and Gunther can make you, pay for that. So, really big.
I agree. I feel like kind of what sets this goal apart is we score on a power play, which I want to say in the second game we didn't really do very much of. We kind of didn't capitalize on some of these power plays. So I thought it was a great rip from Dylan Gunther, once again, who scored the game or the season opener goal like he did last season. And then something I just want to kind of focus on a lot is they're coming off a game. Like I said, they had the time to iron out the wrinkles. Some things I think we could definitely work on, and we showed that in the second game. So nothing to be sad about. Dmitry Simishev made his NHL debut, and he came from the Russian Hockey League. Pretty different. I mean, yes, he did play professional hockey, but the rink is the ring is a lot bigger over there in Russia. So I'm very happy with him playing the game. We could have just sent him to, what is it, the AHL.
Yeah.
We could have just sent him to the AHL, but he got to play here in the NHL for us, and I thought that was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another quick moment in the Avalanche game before we get to the Preds game. I was watching with Harper, and I feel like Colorado's goals were just very predictable. Like, as in, obviously they were class, but like our defense kind of just seemed to fall apart. Like the second that they made that pass, Harper's like goal, and then they score. So I feel like just tightening up a few defensive things, and like we did better in the Preds game, but yeah, just some of those moments, just it felt like there was a little disconnect between the D line, and I don't know. I think we tuned it up in the Preds game, but something to mention.
Yeah, and you mentioned that. I think both of the Colorado Avalanche goals, one was on a power play, which is like you can never let guys like Nathan McKinnon get open on a power play. That's just going to be a goal like 99% of the time. And then that first goal where they took the lead, it was on like a defensive breakdown, and it was a 2-on-1. And so it's like, when you have something like that against, again, a good Avalanche team, like they're going to score a majority of the time. So that just can't happen. But yeah.
I agree. You want to get into the Predators game?
Going to the Preds game, another regional rival. Like Harper said last episode, it was a very important game for us. I'm very happy with this turnout. We win the first ever Ice Age game. Manny defeats Diego 3-2.
Love that.
Yes.
In overtime. Mammoth, we struck first early in the first period. We attacked quickly on a 3-on-1.
Great goal by Cooley.
Yeah,
it was a great goal.
And even a better pass, I think, by Gunther, dude. That pass.
I was about to say that.
He waited a little bit, shoved it right into the front of the net, and then Cooley just capitalized.
Timed it. I thought he timed it perfectly. Didn't pass too early. The defender was literally on his stomach when he made that pass. It was beautiful. We had a good defensive stop that turned into a quick fast break. I thought that was really nice. And I think Vejmelka had a great game. Yeah. He made some very, very important saves throughout the game. So did their keeper. What's his name? Saros.
Saros. Yeah, Saros.
He had some great saves too, unfortunately, but we still came home with the win. What do you feel like was our standout? Do you think it was maybe the defense this game like it was last game?
I think penalty kill played a big part of it. They have some good players over there in Nashville, so I think to be able to kill penalties like we did in the Predators game is important. And then obviously we find a goal late in the third, I think, from McBain. He just shoves one in to tie the game 2-2, and then we go to overtime. And the thing about Dylan Gunther, dude, is I think he led the team last year in game tying or game leading goals. And so, once again, Dylan Gunther just comes up big when you need him to, and
very big.
And I think one thing that he noted at the beginning of the season is he wants to be more aggressive going to the front of the net. And you saw that last night. He earned that puck, stole it right from the Nashville Predators guy, went right to the net, went 5-hole on the goalie, and just scored and won the game. So
Yeah, it was amazing. And like you said about McBain, like in episode 1, about him being one of the big catalysts of this team and a huge re-signing over the offseason, I think it just showed with that goal last night.
It was we can go into that McBain goal really quick. He subbed on and immediately made an impact. That was great. It came off from a shot from Dursey.
Yep.
McBain got the rebound. Quickly shoved in and past the keeper. I agree with with what you said on McBain being a very important catalyst, and that showed.
Yeah, and I think even earlier I want to say it was the second we were on a power play. He's on the second unit, and he got that puck down low, and he just attacked the goalie right away and tried to shove it in. So I think again, yeah, a very important player to this team. And they kind of throw him in different lines and mix and match. So yeah, just a good guy to plug into a line and just start a little fire and get it going. So
yeah, I thought our goals were beautiful, but I do want to say that I think the Predator goals, I don't want to hate on them a little bit, but they did seem kind of like one of them was a scruffle in the front of our crease.
Yeah,
they weren't really nice build up quick goals. One was a nice solo goal, but
yeah,
I still think some of them were kind of just gimmies.
Yeah.
So do you get a point if you go something with overtime?
Yeah, if you lose in overtime, you get a point.
So
still.
Predators got a point.
And
Yeah.
we got 1 point.
No, we
You
got
got
two.
So a win is always 2 points. Overtime loss is 1, and then you don't get anything if you lose outright.
All right, so that puts us at 1-1 for the season so far, and
Yes, sir.
then we have our first home game. Is that correct?
Coming
Yes.
up.
Versus the
Yeah.
Blackhawks. Is that this week?
No. Blackhawks in Chicago and
On
then Calgary
Monday.
Flames at
Calgary
home.
Flames on Wednesday. Yeah, at home. So
Yep.
Are you going to that?
yes, I will
Oh,
be there.
Upper will be there.
You'll be there.
I mean,
Uh,
we can go on to. I'm going to go on to the game-winning goal in OT.
Go for it.
Gunther scored a beautiful. I think it was a solo goal. I want to call it a
Well,
solo
yeah,
goal.
100% solo.
Beautiful solo goal to win the game in OT. I mean, they didn't even have possession in the 3-on-3 for an entire 3 minutes during overtime. They didn't have possession at all. We had
Yeah.
great
Yeah, it was just overtime dominance, I think.
overtime dominance.
And
Exactly.
I think it's like a Gunther goal in overtime is like Harper said, like
beautiful.
it's guaranteed.
yeah.
Like that's the guy you want to watch in overtime because he's
100%.
clutch.
Like you said, he's made so many game-tying or game-winning goals. He's very big on that.
And I love
Clutch
how
player.
I love how you brought up how we controlled the puck the entire time because in hockey usually it's 5-on-5, but when you go over to 3-on-3 hockey in overtime, dude, it's how you can control the puck is the most important thing. And we won the puck right off the faceoff, controlled the puck the entire time, and we were able to capitalize off of it. So
Something I do think we're kind of missing right now is our face-offs.
yeah, I
we
agree.
lost a lot of face-offs against. I think it was like 60 to 40% against Colorado. I think who's our face-off guy again? What's his name?
Barrett Hayton, he's hurt,
Yeah.
but when he comes back, yeah, he's the big faceoff guy. So
I do think
Who's
that
his
is one thing we're
replacement?
missing.
I think Cooley was taking most of the faceoffs.
Kind of rotates, right?
Yeah, it kind of rotates. It depends on who's on the ice. But yeah, Barrett Hayton, he's our face-off guy. So
is Spicy Tuna getting some minutes in these games?
he has not seen
He
the
hasn't
ice
seen
yet.
the ice
Oh,
yet?
dang.
How's Turbo looking?
Ooh.
He's looking good, dude. I want to say it was the Colorado game where he had a decent shot at the front of the net and just wasn't able to capitalize. That Colorado goalie Wedgwood, he had a heck of a
Yeah.
game. So
How's
Yeah.
Veggie looking after coming off both games, having let in 2 goals? Obviously, there's power plays within that, but do you think that has anything to do with like his goalkeeping abilities, or do you think we're good?
I don't think so. He
Yeah.
had like a 90% save percentage this game. He still had great save percentage against the Predators and even against Colorado. So I think he's still a great keeper for us.
yeah, and he had some great saves. I think in the Nashville game especially, and yeah, to be able to only let 2 goals each game, I mean that's pretty good. It's kind of what you want to see. And yeah, I think he had some good saves. There was one goal in the Nashville game where I was like, that was kind of a miss on his part. But other than that, I think he's been playing really well.
I agree. I think this is a huge win, and I love that we're starting just early, get games like that. But unfortunately, one thing that happened is that Sean Dursey got injured early in the overtime. It looks like he took a hit, and then he kind of landed on his right shoulder.
Yeah, and I will say that is the shoulder that kept him out of a majority of the season last year. So.
Yeah.
We haven't gotten any official word on it yet, but if we do lose him, that's a big loss to the defense. So
He was out like
Yeah.
at the beginning of the beginning of this season, like half the season. So
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Wow.
And yeah, like Oliver said, puts the Mammoth at 1-1. Stat leaders, goal leader Dylan Gunther, obviously 2 goals. He has an assist as well, and then Nick Schmaltz coming in with 2 assists on the season. Not a goal yet for him, but those are assist and goal leaders. I just want to jump into this week's schedule. If you follow Grid City Press on Instagram, we like to post what games are coming up in the following week. So yes, keep a listen to see what games maybe you can catch this week. We first got October 13th and got the Mammoth taking on the Blackhawks at the United Center in Chicago. That's a 6:30 p.m. puck drop. Should be able to watch that on Mammoth Plus, Utah 16, ESPN Plus. Then we got our home opener. Harper will be in attendance. We got the Calgary Flames playing here at the Delta Center. That's a 7:30 p.m. puck drop. Same channels as well. October 17th, we got the Sharks visiting from San Jose. 7 p.m. puck drop at the Delta Center. And you can watch this game on Hulu. So if you have Hulu,
There you go.
tune in.
That's a perk.
Here you go,
And
Hulu.
to finish the week, we got October 19th, which is next Sunday, or this upcoming Sunday. We got a 5 p.m. Little semi-matinee game, puck drop, at the Delta Center. And you can watch that game on NHL Net along with the
lot of
regular
hockey.
channels.
There you go.
Yeah,
It's a
4
lot of
games this week.
It's amazing.
Yeah, a lot of hockey this week.
Recap.
A 3-game home stretch.
Yeah.
Should be huge. And I think we play the Avalanche after that. So
Yeah, wow. That's
it's
awesome.
4 home games.
I just
in a row.
want to go into like final thoughts over
Yeah,
these
let's hear
last
it.
2 games. What
Let's
do
hear it.
you guys have to say about these after these first 2 games?
Yeah, I think first off we looked good. The offense has kind of struggled at some points finding goals, but the fact that we can rally like that, especially late in games, I think that's an important skill to have, especially for a team that's aspiring to make the playoffs this year. So yeah, a good week.
I agree. I think we covered most things. Just super excited to have 4 games on the docket this weekend. It's just awesome to have Mammoth back.
Yeah, great to have an NHL team in general, especially to follow, and it makes you just want to watch the games more and more hearing you guys talk about it.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah,
I think the only thing I'll say is that I think our penalty kill looks good. We had great penalty kills against Colorado. And
What
our
is that?
penalty kills when the other team is on a power play and you're down a man, so you try to kill the penalty.
You want to make sure
Down
they
a man.
don't score,
Yeah,
even though you're
your
down
goal.
a man.
Yeah, your goal is to make it.
So the
they don't
defense?
score. Yeah.
Yeah, defense has got to stand out, and obviously the attackers got to push back and help. It's like a soccer game when someone gets a red card, but it's only for 2 minutes.
Yep.
Anyway,
I think our power play doesn't look that good. Unfortunately, we can't really score.
Didn't score on the power play last game, so kind of struggling. I would like to see that first unit especially be able to capitalize on that power play.
And the only other thing is that, JJ, who kind of is like our star guy, obviously we got Dylan Gunther, but he hasn't found the back of the net yet. He got a goal contribution, got an assist, but I kind
that
of would
was
like
huge.
to see a little bit more from him.
yeah, I think it's a good confidence booster, just getting an assist, getting on the board, because obviously it's hard to join a new team, new organization, especially like Utah. Like, we're so new. Like, we don't have any history. We have last season to look on. Anyway, that's going to wrap up the Utah Mammoth segment, and we're going to jump into the RSL Corner, but stay tuned next week for some more Mammoth content. Welcome back to the RSL Corner within Grid City Press. Lots to talk about. We had our second to last game last night on Saturday, where RSL went into Lumen Field to play the Seattle Sounders as the second to last game of the 2025 season. Coming in Seattle, missing 11 players last night. Notable players is Rusnak off of card accumulation. I'm not sure if it was a red card or yellow card accumulation, but he was out.
Red.
And then Vargas, he's with Gozo he's not with Gozo, but he's playing in the U20 World Cup right now. So 2 big pieces they were missing there. Obviously RSL missing Luna and Gozo. So both teams were kind of battered up going into this game, missing some key players. But yeah, jumping right into some analysis on the game. 4 minutes in, Ruiz takes a very poor touch trying to get the ball back to Vera after a Catranas clearance. Unfortunate to see a mistake like that from such a veteran like Pablo Ruiz. Just really tricky stuff. In Seattle, they have great attackers, so you just can't do that. And they obviously capitalize. Morris finds Rothrock wide open with an easy goal. Like, that mistake made Glad push all the way to the left with Vera, and Yedlin was stuck guarding 2-3 players, so they find the back of the net in 4 minutes. There was a review about Rienzi, their right back, being offside, and I think it was offside. I'm not going to say that's the reason we lost this game, but it was a pretty questionable call in my opinion. But tricky start. Any thoughts on going down 4 minutes in?
Going down 4 minutes in for Real basically means a loss almost every time, just because it's really hard for us to stay motivated to do that. And it's hard because Ruiz, I love the man, and like he gets this chance to play, and then he gives up that goal, and it's hard. but we need to find motivation to go back. It's really hard when there's so many people on international break.
Yeah, Ethan, talk about the lineup. One asterisk I'd say is Anelli playing up top.
I was about to say that.
He
yeah.
played up on the left wing, which I think he looked good. I think him attacking on the left, he looked really comfortable. Obviously, with Ruiz taking his normal position, we saw that poor touch that led to the goal. But yeah, what was that lineup looking like?
So, unfortunately, we are missing. What's his name? Sorry, we're missing
Luna and Kosa?
Luna and Gozo, and what's his name on red card?
No, Katranis is missing next game.
Sorry.
It's okay, just get in the lineup.
But we got Ariel Piol back from the Real Monarchs. He came back up. That was pretty nice to see.
Yeah.
Was he on the Monarchs?
Yeah, he I think, was he?
Yeah,
He's
he
got a
got
sub
sent.
for every game now.
Yeah, but
you said
right now the Monarchs are in playoffs, just FYI.
Why did Olatunji not start?
That's a great question. I think that's
That's what I was about to say.
very
over
valid question.
Olatunji.
Yeah, Peel and Ron Cruz up top, though. We got Caliscan and Ruiz in the middle. Consalvis, like I said, was a very important player in this game. I'll talk about an impact he made later in the game, but he was playing on the right, and Nelly on the left. And back line, pretty steady, pretty standard. Vera, Glad, Katranis on the left, Yedlin on the right, and Rafa in goal. But, yeah, going fast forward to 12 minutes. Sloppy defending by Vera. I love Vera, and I think he has flashes to where I could see him leave the MLS, but then he makes kind of bonehead mistakes like this. He takes an awkward step in Morris, and Morris obviously takes advantage of Vera's step. Kind of flops a little bit, but I think it's an obvious yellow card and penalty. The announcers were hyping up Rafa Cabral because Rafa Cabral, going into that pen, had saved 3 of 7 pens, which is an insane percentage. He was doing his tactics. He was screaming, yelling. He was pointing to his right. Morris comes up, shoots it to Rafa's left. Rafa takes an amazing step. Morris didn't put it high enough at all. Easy save for Rafa. I think that, like going down 1-0 in the 4th minute, and Oliver saying that it kind of kills RSL. I think a saved penalty is a huge motivator to keep going throughout the game. But yeah, those 2 moments are honestly some of the most important moments of this game. Possession was pretty identical. Shots, Seattle had 15. We had 13. We did have more shots on goal, but none of our shots just seemed threatening. Every single shot just seemed to find Stephen Fry's gloves pretty easily. Fast forward all the way to 78th minute. Morris to Rothrock goal gets called back.
He scored another one almost?
Yeah, the exact same assist to goal. Morris to Rothrock. Yeah, Rothrock scores again. Rothrock is... It's funny because Rothrock...
Can you say that one more time?
Rothrock? What? That's his
Said
name.
it like 5 times right there. It was funny.
Anyway, that goal gets called back. RSL escapes again. And then we get a nice set piece by Diogo in the 88th minute. Great set piece to Olatunji, who headers it to Willie Agata, who heads it in the goal. And then he does a round-off backflip to celebrate. And the goal gets called back because Olatunji was slightly offside. But
Celebrating early like that's
and
funny.
Seeing Big Willie celebrate.
That's pretty awesome.
If you didn't see the backflip, even the ladies, like, the announcers, like, what a stunning celebration from Willie Agata. Anyway, it gets called back. And we're down 1-0. And honestly, like, Willie's goal, besides pride, I don't think it'd do much because I think the second that first goal in, I was like, because obviously, winning, we're in. These last 2 games, if we win, we make the playoffs. So I didn't have a lot of faith of
Would we have
winning.
gone to Pens with this?
No, this is
No,
still
it's
regular season.
I'm just saying, if we ever do go into Pens, I trust my keeper 100%
dude.
because
Yeah.
Rafa's keep.
No, I think that's a great
Imagine
take.
if we had him in the playoffs last season. I mean, we lost in pens both games.
I know.
That was so hard to watch.
Yeah. I mean, he's on the end of his career, and he is playing lights out and better than almost every
he's
goalkeeper.
already the best keeper compared to Ronaldo.
Ramondo.
Ramondo.
Anyway, unfortunate result. I think there's lots of things to be learned, though, going into the last game of the season. Backline looked a little out of touch, and Katranis won't be playing in our final game of the season because of yellow card accumulation. Katranis can be the hothead, but it's just unfortunate because I feel like there's some communication issues on the back line, and without Katranis next week, it's going to be interesting. I could see
probably
it.
be Quinton then.
Yeah,
I haven't
probably.
seen
Or
him in a while.
Junqua, sorry.
Yeah, Junko probably.
I haven't seen Quinton in a while.
Anyway,
I know.
fast forwarding. We got St. Louis this Saturday, 7 p.m. kickoff on MLS Plus.
Should be an automatic dub.
You'd think we should
hope
win,
so.
and I want to expect we'll get 3 points. But if we do get 1 point or no points, there's a chance we can still make the playoffs, depending on other teams winning or losing. But yeah, I just talked for a really long time. So any thoughts on?
I think it sucks that we're taking the playoff run to the final game of the season.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't want to say I hate to see it, but it is nerve-wracking that we have one game to really in it or not.
Oh yeah.
So
I would have loved for nice 3 points for Seattle, get in the playoffs, watch the Holy War on Saturday. Don't worry about RSL playing St. Louis. And now we got a nerve-wracking game.
But if you're an RSL fan, like that's kind of how we just do it. So we play things by the last minute.
It's never certain.
Yeah.
Like a lot of our playoff or playing games go into pens because we.
Yeah. Luna should be back this game. I'm not sure about Gozo. But yes,
it was good to see him play in versus Ecuador.
Oh yeah. Luna had his first game with the U.S. men's national team with Pulisic. I think that was his first game playing with Pulisic and a fully loaded. Like Weston McKinney was there.
Yep.
Tim Weah, Tim Ream still holding down the back
with Chris Richards.
Yeah, and then I don't know why Anthony didn't play, or did he play?
I honestly feel like looking at U.S. men's national team, we have a great squad. It's just like nobody's playing in these like I don't want to say tryout games, but like kind of like tryouts for World Cup games.
Yeah, it's and I mean 1-1 versus Ecuador. Like we need to beat Ecuador. Sorry,
jeez,
we're missing these games.
But going back to St. Louis, second. I think they're second to last in the West. Pretty brutal season for them, but they are mostly healthy going into this game, and they're 3-1 in their last 4 games. They've played pretty well, and they beat a really good Austin team last week. Going back in, St. Louis coming in off some pretty good form, 3-1 in their last 4. I just want to see some predictions. What do you guys think is going to happen on decision day this Saturday?
Like as far as like the score to the game, or like as far as the playoffs stand? Is that what you're saying?
Both. But I mean, if we win, we're in.
Well, hopefully we get a win. If you're saying St. Louis is as bad as they truly are, then hopefully maybe a 1-0 win, maybe 2-0 win. And then hopefully we sneak in there. Can we talk a little bit more about like maybe what the standings are in the West right now? I want to know like kind of where we're at.
Awesome.
So we are still in the 9th place spot, which is the last wild card spot. 8th place is also wild card. If we win, we're no matter what, we're in wild card because 7th place is 44 points. So we can't.
8th and 9th play wild card game to get that 8th spot, and then we'll take on the 1 seed if we do win that wild card game.
So we are guaranteeing ourselves a wild card spot with the win. Basically, if we tie, we have to hope Colorado ties or loses because we're up on goal differential.
And San Jose is just 2 points behind us.
San Jose is still 2 points behind us, so we have
to 11th.
We have to hope that those teams tie or lose.
Yep.
But we really should just cement it with a win.
So a win completely cements it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can either get 8th or 9th with a win, but we just want to cement it.
Let's go out and get.
I'd say if we tie, we can make it, but we really need to get all 3 points, especially as just a confidence booster going into that hypothetical wildcard game.
And then we might see ourselves playing Thomas Muller's Vancouver. So
I know Vancouver's number 1,
and he just scored a game-winning goal for them.
I know. I wish they would have lost because I feel a lot more comfortable if we do get that 8 seed playing San Diego. We beat San Diego at San Diego this year. I think we were the first team to beat them at home in their existence because they're new this year. But sorry for jumping around, but I'm going to go into my prediction. I think we are going to get a commanding 3-1 win for St. Louis. I think Rafa will hold it down, but I don't trust our defense to concede no goals. So 3-1. I think Consalvas gets on the score sheet. I think Olatunji gets on the score sheet. And we'll go with a Luna goal.
What do you think is our biggest... Or I guess I should just give my prediction first. I think we're going to get a 2-0 win.
I like it.
Love it.
Berkey did get injured early in the season, right? And he's back, but...
Yeah, he's back. They're only missing one guy.
Yeah, I still think we're going to get a nice 2-0 win, even in St. Louis. Nothing I should really be afraid of, but it's RSL. I'm not sure what to expect. Something I do want to ask is, what do you think is our biggest questionable piece of our team going into playoffs?
It's funny because I hyped up the midfield so much in our last episode, but Ruiz's midfield mistake kind of sold us this game against Seattle. But I'm just going to go with the back line. I think it's funny because Vera and Glad have played like 90% of the games the last 2 seasons, and there's just still some shaky moments, in my opinion. Obviously, some midfield problems can lead to some mispositioning of the D-line. But I'm going to go with the back center backs. I'm going to go Vera and Glad. I got faith in both of them, but I think if they really hold it down and we get to a scenario where we are playing San Diego FC or Vancouver Whitecaps in a best of 3 series, if we can hold it down and get to pens, I would bet a lot of money on Rafa Cabral making it out of the pens.
For real.
I think it's a good point. I think I kind of want to see us take less shots at Cabral. While I am confident with him, I just want to see us take less shots, have the defense allow less shots on goal.
Yeah.
I think that just make me a lot more confident in our ability to beat a 1 seed.
Yeah.
But I think my biggest question is our attacking front two with Olatunji and Rowan Cruz.
Yeah, I agree.
We've switched our attacking players so many times this season. I mean, we brought in Peel and Agata, and we were like, okay, they're good. And then they sent Peel down to Monarchs, and now Agata only plays subs. So
yeah,
I'm
it's
still
tough.
questionable. I mean, I haven't really had time to see them go out and prove themselves. I do think they're legit and can give us a lead and kind of give us the edge in some of these games, but still a little questionable on that.
100%. And I think just looking at a sky view or just a broader view, RSL, I think it can be an opportunity to be, and this is going into next season. I think with how good Rafa is, I think he has another great year in him. Like, he looks amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's important that the front office kind of centralizes him and make sure that they fill the field with better pieces around Rafa Cabral. Because look at last year, we had a great defense, midfield, offense, and a shaky McMath was the key difference between us and arguably a run for the MLS Cup. Because you remember we were in first for a while, and just some sticky mistakes from McMath. I remember when we were getting Harper in the RSL.
Oh my God.
McMath just couldn't stop on the silly mistakes. Like when we had to come back down 3 versus FC Dallas last year, we literally had to just rely on our strikers because McMath would just make some oopsies. The ball would go through his gloves. He would come 40 yards out of his box to try and clear a ball and just whiff.
Whiff, and then it's just I remember that one.
For a vet, that's a no-go.
It's just comfortable to see a Cabral because I think even though we talked about the season being disappointment at the start, it's just so refreshing to see a good keeper. Yeah. And obviously, if you just look at the scores and see how many times we've lost, you'll be like, oh, keeper's not saving that. But it's a lot of defensive mistakes, and I think Cabral's done everything he can to put us in this position to make a playoff run.
I love that. Yeah, I'm obviously not very well versed in the RSL stuff, but I'm trusting your guys' word on it, and I'm hoping RSL can go out there and get a win. And make the playoffs. It would be fun to see some RSL playoff games. So
it would be electric.
Sometimes, it's a momentum shifter seeing Cabral make a big save. When he makes a big save, maybe we're down 1. It's a big momentum shifter to see Cabral keep us in that. And someone's still got the heart to keep going. Maybe it boosts the team.
Yep.
Stuff like that.
Love that.
Love to see Cabral.
100%. In other news, like I said, Monarchs in the playoffs right now for MLS Next. That's the league they play in, right? I know they switched up a bunch of the bottom leagues. And then Royals actually had a really good run. Royals have been switching up their front office, selling a lot of players like Macy Frazier, and we had a player retire. But I think all the transitions are actually leading to some bright points. I think we went on a really good undefeated run. We lost last night to San Diego FC in a tough one, and I don't think we're gonna make the playoffs this year. But I think we're tracking in the right direction.
Better than last year, even though it was our first year.
Yeah, I think some
Still
pieces are coming together. But that's gonna wrap up the RSL corner. If you're watching Grid City Press, we're gonna jump right into the Jazz segment. But stay tuned for next week, hopefully, where we can talk about 3 points we got versus St. Louis.
Here's to hoping.
Yes.
Welcome back, Oliver.
All right, drum roll for the next segment.
All right, getting into the Utah Jazz segment here on the Grid City Press. The regular season starts in about a week, so we're just going to go into some season predictions. Obviously, last year we were 17-65. Worst record in franchise history. 5th in the Western Conference. So I'm just going to jump right into it. I think, this team, obviously, with the new pieces in Ace Bailey, Walter Clayton, and, we give away some of our vets to let the young guys kind of roll with it. Hopefully, Lauri Markkanen's back to where he needs to be. Walker Kessler, hopefully, he's playing all season. I see this Jazz team as somewhere within the 12 to 10 range. I do see this team making maybe a sleeper run and maybe making the play-in. But I just want to bounce it to you guys. What do you guys think maybe is the floor and ceiling for this Jazz team this season?
I'll go first. I really hope we can win. I want to say 20, 30 games.
20.
I think at least I think 30 would be a great goal to win, but that's going to be hard. But I just think like our young players are going to be like already seeing what Walter's doing. I think like we're going to have a much better season.
Awesome. I'm going to compare this team to the 2023-2024 team where we had that really special start and then we kind of faded away. And that team was 31-52. I'm going to go out and say we're going to get 5 more wins than that. I think we're going to get 36 wins on the season. I think just our team's a little bit more consistent consistent compared to that team. And I think we're going to squeak into the 10 spot. I think we're going to get into that play-in game.
That.
Obviously, I might be a little optimistic, but I think if everything comes together, I think Will Hardy and his staff has prepared great this offseason. I think without too many moves, we can get a lot of good gelling and throughout the team. Seems like everything's going great off the court. I saw the team was practicing in Sugar House Park the other day.
They're making burgers.
I saw that.
They're doing everything but playing basketball. Just kidding. We'll go into some preseason game later. But, yeah, I think everything off the court hopefully is going to translate to some a 36-win season.
That's a great ending point. But before I answer, I want to ask, what do we need to do to get that OKC pick next season?
So we have to be within the. I thought if we're anywhere outside of the 8th pick, then I think the rights go to OKC. So we have to be within 1 to 8 within their pick next year.
We don't want that.
Yeah.
Just to be clear, we don't want.
Yeah.
We don't want to tank again.
Yeah. No, we don't want to tank again.
We want to finish in.
I personally think that wins are going to take time with a bunch of young guys like this. When we have a young core, I think it's going to take time. Of course, we do have the vets, and I do like that we have vets like Nurkic to show these guys how to have a long career. So I think wins are going to take time, but I still think we're going to get a play-in spot. I think our floor is maybe one spot out of the play-in. But I think our ceiling is a play-in spot, maybe a couple wins in the play-in or in the playoffs. So I think,
I like it.
But I think it's going to take time. I think we're not going to get the wins right off the bat. So I'm going to say maybe 31 wins this season.
Okay, I love that.
So it might be opposite of that 2023 team where we kind of start slow and then we'll warm up for the end of the season. I like that.
I think it's going to take time to develop these guys. That's how I kind of see the season, as maybe development season.
I like that.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I think a great benchmark for this team is 30 wins. If we can hit 30 wins, that shows growth. And you guys brought up a good point with Will Hardy. I think this guy, obviously youngest coach in the league, right? I think, or at least one of them.
Same age as Kevin Love.
Yeah, just the culture this dude is just bringing to the Jazz. I think it feels like a family almost to me. You know what I mean? Like
I agree.
He's just building a team where everyone's kind of just buying in and wants to be here and work hard. So yeah, if that team can take a step in the right direction, I think 30 wins is obviously a good benchmark for this team. Moving into, who do we think the biggest impact player is going to be this season? Like season MVP, for me, I would say, depending on if these two are still on the team, I would obviously say Lauri Markkanen and Walker Kessler. Lauri Markkanen, obviously all-star 2 years ago. So if he can get back to anywhere where he was, 2 seasons ago, where he's averaging close to 25, I think that's huge for the Jazz. And then Walker Kessler, obviously, he's one of the best rebounders, offensive rebounders in the league, one of the best shot blockers in the league. Can he, be the focal point of this defense and, bring these teams to more wins? And then I would say for me, if these guys are gone or moved close to the deadline, I want to say Ace Bailey. I mean, the preseason this guy's having, if he can continue to grow this season, Ace Bailey could be a dark horse contention for season MVP for the Utah Jazz this season.
That's a great.
What do you guys think?
I was gonna say Ace Bailey, just because I think he has something to prove, and he wants to prove that he's that 5th pick, and that people should have picked him higher. So I personally think like he's gonna be way better than everybody thinks.
That's a good.
I love it. I'm gonna go with Keontae George. I think this is the season where he gets over the hump and exerts more confidence. I think Isaiah Collier having an amazing rookie season and pushing up on Keontae's starting spot. Along with Walter Clayton, like Keontae's going to be competing every day with these point guards, and I think they're going to hold him accountable. And I think he's just going to get over the edge. I think he's looked good in preseason. 3 balls looking good. I think it's time that he makes his team his.
For me, a couple things. I feel like the Jazz were kind of lacking that star player that everybody knows, and that's Ace Bailey now. I feel like we kind of missed that for a little bit, so I feel like I want to say Ace Bailey would be that. But I also feel like this is the season where Keontae proves the kind of player he's going to be for the rest of his career. So I also want to say Keontae George as well.
Yeah, I love that. I think, honestly, I saw a tweet the other day, and I completely agree with it. Ace Bailey, I don't think he could have ended up in a better spot than Utah, like developmental-wise. He comes here, all he has to focus on is basketball and just growing. Will Hardy is going to, be a young coach that he can be the mentor to. I think this dude Ace is going to grow a lot. And when was the last time the Jazz had a big name player like Ace Bailey? Yeah. I don't think ever. Maybe Darren Williams is the closest we've gotten.
It's been a while.
But yeah, it's been a while. And to have a guy like this where the media, knows a lot about
talking
him.
like the draft?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about like the draft.
Because Donovan wasn't a huge name.
Yeah, he wasn't a draft pick. Yeah.
He came out of the draft and was kind of just a surprise to everybody. I think he was like, the 13th pick or something. So.
Yeah. That's a great point. I think he is definitely one of the biggest names of our rookies like ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the guy that everybody knows. That's why I feel like we needed.
Yeah, and I like to think of Utah Jazz as like a wilderness camp because like you're saying how he has no distractions. Like coming to Utah, seeing them hike, seeing them give back to the community, like it's just like, and it, like you said, it like Will Hardy's building that like family vibe throughout the team, and I think Ace Bailey's going to thrive in that. I think he has a great head on his shoulders, losing his agent obviously, but I think he's got a lot of good guys surrounding him to keep him in his place. Motivate him. He had a smile on his face during preseason. He's just looking good, and I think there's so much to be excited about for the Jazz season coming up.
Is he as tall as KD?
No,
I don't think so. I think he's a little shorter. KD's like 7 foot.
Yeah, but Ace's wingspan's insane.
Yeah, no, he's a big guy, and I think the coolest thing to see for me is. It doesn't look like he's rushing out there. Obviously, he's taking crazy hard shots like that turnaround J that we saw at the elbow. That was awesome to see, but it doesn't look like he's rushed or anything. Will Hardy also noted at the beginning of the season that he doesn't want to feel like Ace Bailey has to prove anything. He just wants him to go out there and just have fun and play basketball. That's great. I think that's the biggest important thing for Ace, especially in his rookie season when he's just growing. Just go out there, have fun, learn how to play the game at the NBA level. And then obviously, you'll get better as the seasons progress. But, to have a guy like Ace Bailey and especially to see that he's having a great preseason, that's big for the Utah Jazz, I think.
Yeah. Back on that picks thing, the other top 5 picks Utah's had was Dante Exum was a fifth.
That's crazy that he was a fifth
and Enes
pick.
Kanter was the 3rd pick.
Yeah, and
crazy.
I don't think any of those guys are as big of names as Ace Bailey.
And those guys coming from overseas, like Dante Exum.
That's true.
Obviously, Dante Exum didn't have the career that everyone wanted him to have, but like nobody knew his name. Even when we drafted him, everyone's like, "Who's Dante Exum?" And answering your question, Ethan, Ace Bailey's 6'7".
Yeah,
and he's 202, and he's a 7-foot wingspan compared to KD's 7'5" wingspan, and he's like 6'11".
My bad. I was gonna say KD reincarnate, and I'm gonna stick by that.
No, but he plays like KD.
Yeah, he does.
Like he's lengthy. Like I'd say Cooper Flagg too, another rookie. Like just these lengthy
versatile
guys.
Yeah.
Like
he can score from really anywhere. Like I loved that turnover he got just to a 3 ball.
Yeah, I mean, you are seeing the NBA move towards these more stretch bigs who can shoot from anywhere. So it's awesome to see. But let's move into the preseason. The Jazz have had 2 preseason games against a few Texas teams. We had a loss against the Rockets and then an overtime loss against the Spurs. A few notes on that. Big performances from Ace Bailey. He had 20 versus the Spurs in 39 minutes and 25 and 31 versus Houston. And then Bryce Sensabaugh, a guy we've talked about a couple times in the podcast, 26 versus the Spurs in 24 minutes, which is crazy.
Wow.
He was 12 from 12 from the line, and then 24 and 26 minutes versus the Rockets. So, just unbelievable performances. We got 2 more preseason games, both at home. So I just want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think you guys want to see from the remainder of the preseason games? And maybe who have been some surprises for you guys during preseason so far?
I think the preseason, it does a little bit of a good job, and then we'll see obviously more as the season goes. But I want to see like who we're going to be like kind of building around more, or like because a lot of these players like are, I feel like at the same potential and same level, other than Lauri Markkanen obviously. But other than that, like I feel like everyone has the same thing to prove. So I think just like seeing Sensabaugh, I think he's going to be a standout player, especially with what he's already doing in preseason.
Yeah, I agree. And Harper, you might be able to answer this question. And obviously we love Bryce Sensabaugh, and even in his preseason, he's showing his potential. And I think I saw his potential a lot last year's preseason. But what do you think he can do to like truly prove to be a starter, prove to be not necessarily a starter, but just like be more recognized? Because we're always talking about how good he is and how good these moments are, but like how bad are those bad moments? And what do you think he can do to get to that starting lineup or a sixth man off the bench? Because I think his potential is insane.
Yeah, I think it all starts on the defensive side of the ball. You got to be able to be a two-way player in this league. To be able to be an efficient scorer at this league, obviously very important. But you also can't be a traffic cone on defense. So he's got to step up defensively, be able to, guard, the top guys in this league. I really like to see that. I think the thing about Bryce is he has the body to do that. You know what I mean? He's a big guy. Big frame. He can guard, these guys. But it's just going to take focus, lots of practice. But yeah, if Bryce can get to a point where he's able to become, a threat on both sides of the ball, I think that's big for him.
Yeah, because he's still so young.
Young.
He's as old as Oliver.
21 years, my age.
He's 11 days older than
6'5",
Oliver.
235. He's a little chunky down there, like with his low hanging shorts. He like play. I love the way he plays though, because when I went to their home game, he like kind of plays like gritty. Like he's kind of like scrappy, and he like will shoot the corner three sometimes.
I love that. I like that. I feel like this is.
This might be a Bryce Sensabaugh podcast.
It might.
Yeah,
It might
I
turn into a
love Bryce
Sensabaugh fan.
I think he's nice. He is nice with it. I think this is going to be a good season to see Collier, because I feel like Walter Clayton's going to give him a good run for his money at the guard position.
Yep.
So I think he's going to give him a good run. While Isaiah did have his season to like prove himself, I think this is where Walter Clayton's going to kind of show competition, and I think that's something that I love under Will Hardy, is that he has a lot of players that don't know. Well, I don't want to say a lot of players. The players don't know whether or not they're starting. It's not the kind of team where they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm starting, so I don't have to do anything," or players that like know they're not going to play, so they don't care. There's a lot of competition in this team, and competition. You've heard it. Competition breeds success. So I like that we're going to have a lot of players competing for different spots.
Because again, they're like the same age too. Walter's 22 and Isaiah Coller's 21, but they're both.
And Sensabaugh's 21.
Yeah, but I'd say Walter is already super NBA ready. I feel like.
Oh, 100%.
Yes, he looks good.
And I think I don't think it's a signing that the Jazz would usually make on a rookie, because I mean, obviously he fell a little bit because those really bottom feeder teams want someone young because they're just planning for the future. But I like that the Jazz took a chance on him. I think, like all we're saying, super NBA ready, and I think he'd be a great starter on a lot of teams in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of teams trying to find their place. Like he reminds me a little of who's the point guard on the Pacers that was amazing this year?
Nembhard?
Yeah, Nembhard. Yeah. Just like not saying their skill sets too similar, but like just the impact. I think
such a big impact in the playoffs.
Nembhard's such a smart player. I think on my feed I see the edit of him pulling the chair on defenders once a week, and just like a player like that, a young guy to add to the Jazz core and bring competition to the other guards. I think it's a huge, huge underrated draft.
Yeah, I agree. I will say Isaiah Collier has been obviously nursing an injury the past couple of weeks, so he hasn't been able to make his preseason debut. Hopefully we get to see that soon. And then, we obviously we talked about a lot of the young guys here. I just want to go back to Bryce Sensabaugh for a second. You talked about how you loved to see him play and he was scrappy. I think that's the biggest improvement that I think I've seen he's made this offseason is his ability to get to the rim. I think a lot of people around the NBA know him as more of just a spot-up shooter guy, but I truly believe Bryce Sensabaugh can become a 3-level scorer in the NBA. So
that's a really good point.
Yeah, I love to see that. But moving into the final preseason games, we take on the Mavs on Monday the 13th, probably the day this podcast is coming out. We get to see an Ace versus Cooper Flag showdown, which is awesome. And this is also the first home basketball game in the new Delta Center. So
beautiful.
Predictions for that game?
Like you said, new Delta Center, new court design is beautiful this year. I'm gonna say I don't think we win, but just because I think the Mavericks are super deep.
Yeah.
Like I think they're gonna be a Western Conference contender this year. But I think we're gonna see more standout games by Ace Bailey, Walter Clayton. But I'd love to see is Filipowski injured right now?
I don't know. He hasn't been playing, so
Yeah.
maybe. So I don't know.
I don't know. That's a great question.
It's a
If
good
he's
question.
if he's not injured, I think if Filipowski plays, I think I'd like to see him just keeping that form from the summer league. And then I think Keontae George. Obviously, I don't think our best players or starters will be playing too many minutes, just ramping up to the season. But I think just seeing those flashes of the possibilities of each player, new player, I think that's important.
Yeah, Filipowski's been out due to a back injury, but I think he definitely adds a defensive presence, but it's probably good to rest him since it's still preseason. But I think that we might probably not win, but I think if Bryce Sensabaugh and like the players who are still playing can still get 20 points against this Dallas team, it just proves that we have the right steps.
That's a great point. I'm really excited for this game to see someone like Taylor Hendricks, who came back last game. I'm excited to see his defense. Like you said, he wanted to be the best defender in the league, and I love that confidence. I don't think we're going to get a win, kind of harping on what I said earlier. I said that the wins are going to take time with these young guys, but I very much agree with you when you say that if Bryce can get 20 points against a team like this, or Ace Bailey and Walter Clayton, like we're going to really show that we're building these players one step at a time, maybe getting them a little bit better every game, and just a little bit of improvement even at the end of the season is a great thing to see from this young core.
Yeah.
100%.
I think the biggest thing for me, we haven't really talked a lot about him on the podcast, or really even in general. Cody Williams, a guy we drafted pretty high 2 years ago.
10th pick.
Yeah, and that's someone that I would want to see more out of. But I kind of want to just ask you guys, where do you see a guy like Cody Williams fitting into a roster like this? We got a lot of bigs in Filipowski and Taylor Hendricks, who has had a great 2 games in preseason. Where do you guys see a guy like Cody Williams, who struggled a lot last season, fitting into this Jazz team?
That's a great question. I think he had a better summer league than he had an entire season last year. And obviously his floor can be pretty low. I think I could see him on the Stars most of the season if he doesn't improve. But hopefully this offseason has been like a wake-up call for him, because obviously he was that high draft pick for a reason. And a lot of people doubt him. We fired some executives who were in charge of drafting him. And you're right. Like, it's just, we have so many different players. Like, I think we forget about Cody Williams. And that's an important asset that I think that we need to capitalize on, because if not, I could see him playing with the Stars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of competition around him, because I can see a lot of players that are better than him playing, obviously, and taking his minutes, but preseason looks good so far.
I kind of feel like in his third year, this is where he shows what kind of player he is. Like with Keontae George being his third year as well. So I think he's got a lot to. I don't want to.
Cody's second.
Cody's second.
Cody's
Sorry.
second.
No,
Sorry.
you're good.
You're good.
But I don't want to put pressure on him and say like, yeah, he's got a lot to prove this season. But I think he's got this year, next year to really show what he can do. So yeah.
Yeah. Again, he's only 20, so
Yeah,
He's
super young.
got plenty of time.
crazy.
No
that
pressure,
young.
bro.
Yeah, we'll say he has put on a lot of weight this summer, so that's good. He was
that's
kind
good.
of a little thin last year. Was easy to bully around, especially in the paint. For a guy like that who has been prided on his defense, being able to put weight on and take on defenders like that is an important thing. And Charlie, you mentioned a good point. He had a decent summer league. He was able to show how he could score the ball at an NBA level. I think that's important. Want to see growth on both of those. So defensively and offensively, obviously, it's going to be tough for him to compete. But if he can improve on those, maybe he can get some decent minutes on the Jazz this season. So
Yeah, he had a solid game against the Spurs, our last preseason game. He had 12, shot 4 for 8 from the field, 1 for 3 from 3. And like Ethan was saying about the Boston Celtics last season, I think if we can really hone our three-point shooting, because everybody can shoot the 3-ball on our team. Even Kevin Love can shoot the 3-ball. Cody Williams, 3-ball. Sensabaugh. Clayton obviously is a great 3-ball. Keontae, Ace. I think Taylor Hendricks, he shot 4 threes last game, didn't make one. But I think if Will Hardy just drills this 3-point identity, I think that can help us a lot this year.
I agree.
What was it? Taylor Hendricks. Like I said earlier, I like that he's back and everybody's kind of excited to see him on the court. But I think someone like Taylor Hendricks will be very important because his defense, like you said, is so big for him.
Yeah,
and I feel like we're
too.
kind of in the early stages of what OKC was doing. They had a few seasons where they were developing players and getting them better. And I feel like this is us being early stages of an OKC team.
Yeah, it's literally just time for these guys to start to shine, like Shea and Chet, and like to bring out who we have, and then you just bring a couple veterans here and there to surround them.
The vets are great.
That's it, because they brought around Caruso, and they really only have a couple vets. They really don't have a lot, and that's like us kind of, which I like.
Why am I spacing his name? Who's their center?
Hartenstein?
Yeah, Hartenstein's amazing.
Yeah, that was a great piece for them to pick up.
If you said Hartenstein and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander like 8 years ago, or like 6 years ago, like nobody even would bat an eye. And those two are leading a team to a championship. Like Cody Williams, like his brother Jalen Williams, I think genetically they should have similar potential, right?
I would hope
Jalen's
so.
really good.
Jalen is amazing.
Isn't he really good on defense?
Yes,
Yeah,
he is a menace on
and
defense.
He was like third team NBA or second team all NBA.
He's a beast, and he was competing with Paulo for Rookie of the Year 3 years ago.
Yeah. So
Anyway,
hopefully those genetics kick in.
I would hope. Anyways, regular season starts Wednesday, October 22nd against the Clippers at home. John Collins is coming back home for the first time, so that'll be fun to see. Awesome. So just a little over a week from the start of the NBA regular season. Obviously, we probably might not be winning a game like that against the Clippers. They're a pretty, big team, but so obviously we've talked about the young guys. Hopefully we see them shine. Any thoughts for the regular season, especially for a team like the Clippers? Let's see. We play the Clippers and then I think the Suns at home. So I think the Suns the game we can win. But what do you guys think?
I do have a question.
Yeah.
What is it the deadline to re-sign a player? Isn't it like October 20th?
I think it's like I actually don't know.
I wanted to ask about Walker Kessler.
I don't think. Let's see. Yeah, Walker Kessler, obviously.
Could he go into restricted free agency if we don't re-sign him? Is that what happens?
Well, he's signed to us, so he would be a restricted free agent. I don't know. Hopefully, we can get a Walker deal soon.
Isn't the deadline like October 20th? So it's coming up.
Yeah, I think you might be right. If you did the research on that, I think you might be right.
Yeah. I think, like you said, Walker Kessler's a huge asset, and he's been injured last year, so I think him shining through this year is going to be super important. But yeah, we got 2 preseason games to end. We host the Mavericks on October 13th, and we host the Blazers on October 16th. And yeah, we'll get back to you hopefully with some regular season previews next week. That's going to wrap up the Jazz segment of this episode. And all we have left is Utah football. Woo. Pretty exciting game last night. Oliver's going to guide us through everything Utah football.
All right, guys, welcome to the Utah Utes football segment for Grid City Press. And
beautiful.
Going to get started. We had a phenomenal dub, 42-10 against the Arizona State Sun Devils, ranked 21, obviously without their starting quarterback, Sam Levitz. We saw the training with him getting some water bottles squirted on his hand to prepare for the rain. He turned into a no-show. Didn't even come to the game. But
He was there.
A phenomenal, I'd just say, if I could describe it in like a couple words, Devin Dampier run game, over 110 rushing yards for Devin. He had 3 rushing touchdowns. Touchdown after touchdown after touchdown. So good. You got to see my boy Wayshawn, my favorite player on the team.
Yeah, Wayshawn looks good.
He was playing really good. N'Keary Rogers. I think we just have really good run games. I mean, it was really fun to watch. And I got to say, one of my favorite parts of the game was that blocked field goal.
That was insane.
By none other than Jackson Benny.
And I literally saw them ready to hop over.
That's his first name,
I saw him hop over, get super fast, and he hopped right over him.
I was going to ask, is it an NFL rule where you can't jump over the line?
You can't jump over the center.
You can't jump over the center. You can't do anything with the center.
The center has no time to protect himself.
Yeah.
But it was a great day. Unfortunately, the weather did not cooperate well. We got absolutely soaked before the game. We all were definitely impacted by it. I was soaking wet, like completely soaked until they told us the tennis center was open. We headed to the tennis center, chilled in there until they were like, we were hearing rumors that the game wasn't going to start until like 10:15 p.m.
People were
like,
capping.
Yeah, what's going on? A ton of lightning too. And then game started around 8:25.
Yeah.
8:25ish, so not too bad. And then we got in. I was fortunate to sit in the box seats. Got to see a really nice view of the game, bird's eye view. Super cool to see the marching band at half because they were like little ants moving around.
You can see well from that side.
Good food, but it was great to see the throws and the run game from that angle compared to the must section.
No drone show. though.
No drone show.
No Pepsi drone show.
I will say, thank God there wasn't a lightning delay because that would have made it so much more worse. I was freezing. I made the mistake of getting wet before the game started, and it was like 45 degrees, so I was just freezing cold.
And it was
the
cold that
game.
entire game, and I think it rained the whole entire first half.
Yeah.
Still.
Well, I think we used it to our advantage because a team like Arizona State, who prepares by the coach squirting a water gun on the quarterback, they don't know what it's cold.
Exactly.
It's not cold in Arizona, and like RSL, like any sports outside, I think teams like Utah who play at elevation play with conditions like snow, rain, sleet. Anyway,
Yeah, I will also say I think the fact that the rain brings out a lot of run plays. I think that heavily favored us in this matchup as well. Obviously Oliver talked about the 3 rushing touchdowns, over 100 yards rushing for Devon Dampier, and then Akari Rogers and Wayshawn Parker got a lot of touches last night, and I think that was a big reason that the Utes were able to get a win.
What was the word you used last episode when talking about how we used 2 different running backs equally? Split backs. I was thinking about that word. Thank you.
so RB what?
RB
1A,
1A, 1B type.
Yeah, and I think this game was a perfect example. Like N'Keal Rogers and Wayshawn Parker. If I'm a defensive line, I think both players bring different threats.
We also got to see Daniel Bray.
We did see Daniel Bray.
That was cool. He was
41
shifty.
yards
Yeah,
rushing, which
He was-
is crazy.
Yeah, he was shifty.
Yeah, he was. Just awesome. I think it was
And
good.
5 carries, 41 yards.
Yeah,
Yeah, good.
he looks
Wow,
good
that's
as
good for him.
he's a freshman. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Freshman.
And it was great to see the Utes offense get going early. I think a lot of times, especially the last couple seasons we've been in Rice Cycles, it's like we get really hyped for these big games. Utah starts on offense, we get really excited, and then we see like a 3 and out. So the fact that Utah was able to get that offense going early was a really good sign, and I think was able to propel us throughout the entire game. When this Utah offense is able to score early on in the game, I think it's hard to beat us. So
Yeah.
It's crazy. We only had 8 receptions.
yeah.
Oh,
8
yeah.
receptions.
Yeah, he didn't
That's-
throw a single touchdown.
No touchdowns were thrown in this game by both quarterbacks. No interceptions were thrown, and I mean that could have had something to do with the weather. Obviously,
think
it's harder
so,
to
yeah.
throw the ball, and the offensive coordinators could have probably run the ball more. And I think we proved how good our running was from the quarterback to Wayshawn to N'Keal. But I think preparing for BYU this week, let's be honest. ASU's Sims was his name, the quarterback.
Jeff Sims.
Yeah, he ran all over the place. He got open a lot, and playing a quarterback like Bear next week at BYU. I caught a little of that game versus Arizona. He's great at running and getting out of the pocket, and obviously we have a great D line and we can get to the quarterback fast. Yes. But if that quarterback breaks out, I think that's a weakness we have, and I think it's something we need to capitalize against BYU to prove that we can stop the quarterback run. And also just get the ball thrown next week. Devin, I think, still has yet to have a breakout throwing game. Obviously, he can show us what he can do with his feet. But, those 2 things I think are super important looking to next week.
So, something I kind of find scary is that we ran the QB draw so many times against Texas Tech, and it never really worked out.
Oh, the QB
Of course, they have a really expensive and good defensive line, but we ran the QB draw a lot this game, and it worked out. But I wonder how it's going to work out against a good defense like BYU.
And here's what I'll say. Arizona State second in stopping the run in the Big 12. So the fact that we were able to do that on a great D-line like Arizona State, I think that shows a lot of progress, especially from Texas Tech. So,
Thank you.
Just a nice note for next week.
Thank you.
Yeah, and with Sam Levitt being out, I saw a lot of comments. Oh, yeah, Utes beat a team without their number 1 quarterback. Yeah, well, we also dropped 42 on their starting defense. They weren't missing any key pieces on defense necessarily. Mm-hmm. So I think it's important that we get that offense going. I think our defense is obviously our strong suit this year. We showed it against Texas Tech for 90% of the game. I think those boys were just tired from being out there the whole game. So, yeah, I think that's just a perfect way to capitalize on a ranked game. We got our first Big 12 win at Rice Cycle Stadium since joining the conference.
It's crazy.
And, yeah, just showing how good our offense can be against a good defense, like you said, with the second best D-line in the Big 12. I think that's super important, and we can just take a big step going into BYU.
Yeah.
So many big names on defense. We got Benny coming in with 5 solo tackles. And then I will say, when you saw Jeff Sims get so upset when he got sacked like
Yeah.
3 times in a row.
Oh, and it was
he
4th
was just
36.
He was just like pissed.
Slamming
Like
the field. He was
but
pissed.
it's all John Daly, man. He's so
He is a menace.
He's just
so good at getting
beast.
there
John
fast.
Henry
And just so many quick like little one-hand grabs to trip them up.
Yes.
Like Logan did too, because
on a couple of those
he was
sacks.
about to break out. He'd about to break out, and we just randomly get them.
Oh, the
one
shoestring
time.
tackle, baby.
And I'll say Snowden had a really good game too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was
but,
getting a lot of
he
targets.
He had those 2
on
PIs though.
Yeah.
that was.
I think one of
unfortunate.
them was kind of a crazy PI call, though.
Yeah,
I didn't agree with one of them.
I didn't agree
But
with
we
that
need to tighten things up because BYU won their game versus Arizona because of Arizona corners. They had 2 PIs that if they weren't PIs,
Yeah.
Arizona wins that game against BYU.
Were the
And-
PIs in overtime?
I think one was in overtime and one is in regulation in the end zone. Just like
PIs
sloppy.
Really kill you. It's a good thing it's not right at the spot.
Yeah.
Luckily, Smith excels in so many other categories, but I think he just needs to tighten that up.
He was getting a lot of like defensive targets. Like they were throwing to him, to his receiver, a lot.
Yeah, I will say the one thing that I think the defense needs to clean up for next week is tackling in the open. A lot of times, we see the wide receiver, get the ball or maybe the QB breaks out. But, the fact that there was one play, I think, where Jeff Sims was able to run out of the pocket. And then we had like 5 guys try to tackle him, and no one was able to get him. So,
Yeah, exactly.
And I've seen that in other games. We have to be able to tackle in the open. If we're not, we're gonna have a lot of issues against BYU. But I just want to say, like, I was walking out with a few buddies after the game last night, and this is the first time I've like felt really good about Utah football since maybe the Baylor game last year. And so yeah, just big. I think it's big for the fan base, big for the team, to be able to. Be in a position like this. And a lot of teams in the Big 12 lost yesterday. I think TCU went down. Iowa State went down.
Wow.
So, I mean, this conference is open. It's never been better for the taking for the Utes, especially next week against BYU. It's Texas Tech, BYU, who are leading the conference right now, and then I think Cincinnati, and then we come in the 4th spot. So we kind of control our destiny from here on out. But to be able to be in a position where we do control our destiny is huge for the Utes.
This could be like the year we won the Pac-12 the second time, where a lot of teams went down and a lot of key things happened for us to go to the Pac-12 championship and win it.
Yeah, I will say in that year we were actually kind of out of control.
Yeah.
We had to rely on
sorry.
an Oregon
Sorry.
win. No, but you're completely right. I think as long as Utah can keep the ball in our court in terms of being able to make the Big 12 championship, I think that's the biggest factor for us. And I'm just gonna circle a couple games on the schedule for us. I think obviously BYU next week, a big one, and then Cincinnati, who somehow is undefeated in conference play. But yeah, those are 2 big wins that we need to capitalize on.
Yeah, Cincinnati. I think last year they were like a laughing stock of the Big 12 in football, and this year they've proved everyone wrong. They come in at 24th on the new AP poll that dropped today. Utes at 23rd.
It's awesome.
Texas Tech at 7 and BYU at 15. Just looking at the Big 12. But Houston, another good team fighting for a spot in the Big 12
right, yeah,
championship this year. Cincinnati plays Oklahoma State next week, so they should get that win. And I think they're just going to, they have Oklahoma State and then an okay Baylor before we play Cincinnati at home on November 1st. And looking at the schedule at the beginning of the season, I didn't think Cincinnati was going to be a ranked game. Oliver and I will be out of town for that game. And at first we were like, we're just playing Cincinnati. But now I really wish we could be at that game. It's going to be a good game. I think there's a lot to play for in the Big 12. Lots of good teams. Just a really consistent league.
Yeah, it's wide open though right now. So
It is. Who did Missouri beat?
I think Missouri lost to Alabama
Yeah,
this
Missouri
weekend.
lost.
That was their first loss, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think we still
ranked pretty
could college game day against BYU?
Actually, just
Yeah.
breaking news.
Oh.
We got big noon kickoff. Well, BYU got big noon kickoff.
But yeah, for our
Big
game.
new kickoff.
Game,
That's good.
game day is going to Georgia. Ole Miss.
That makes
Yeah,
sense.
Georgia, Ole
Yeah,
Miss.
that makes sense.
But, I mean, game day would have been fun. I mean, it's at BYU, so who knows how involved we even will be. But, big noon kickoff. Second big noon kickoff for Utah teams. I think it's cool. I think that's a great.
That is
Yeah,
sick.
Dave Portnoy's coming back to try more pizza. Probably not in Provo because
Yay.
Provo's food scene is, let's just say it's not good.
horrendous.
I think any scene down there is not good.
Yeah,
Beautiful
honestly,
take.
but
That's cool. We get 2 big noon kickoffs,
yeah,
basically.
I
that
know.
is awesome.
It's gonna be fun. What are our plans for the game? We gonna be
What are you guys thinking? Because the must tickets sold out pretty quick.
I will be in Kentucky.
Harper won't be in the same.
I'm going to be watching the Texas-Kentucky game next week.
Oh, wow.
Which will be fun. So hopefully,
That sounds fun.
hopefully I
Wonder if
can make
Chase
my
is
way
gonna be
to
at
a
that
place to watch the game afterwards.
At the Utah BYU game?
I think we're just gonna do a watch party somewhere.
Yeah.
Andy's talking about his dad's work, so.
Oh, that's
It'll be
right.
fun.
That's right. I wonder what the tailgate scene for the Utes is gonna be like down there.
I know. I think.
Like, I wonder what people are gonna do.
I think we're gonna
some big stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think BYU I think BYU travels really well as a team. Like when they come
Yeah,
play us,
I was
they
gonna
will
say that.
probably bring more people than the U will bring down there.
I agree.
Just because.
I wanted to say, like, I feel like BYU traveled so well for basketball.
Oh yes, they just travel well in every sport. They'll play a basketball game in like the Grand Canyon, and half of it will be BYU fans.
Yeah, there's just BYU fans everywhere in the country.
I hope we
so-
show out. I really hope we show out for the game. I mean, and I can't say anything because I'm not going, but I hope a lot of you fans show up.
It's gonna be a huge game. I can't wait. Like I said, I can't wait to watch how our D line adjusts to Bear at quarterback. He can move quick, and I think Devin too. Obviously, Devin can too, but I think it's really important that we don't let him run all over the place because Jeff Sims, he seemed like he could run where he wanted once he got out of the pocket.
It's a good point.
Yeah, I will say, talking about Bear, he kind of struggled in the game against Arizona. He was 12 for 29.
2 picks.
With, 172 yards and 2 picks. So, I mean...
Yeah, they had BYU had a horrible game, and they came back. They were down 10. They won in
This
double
happens
overtime.
every time. It's like Colorado. Colorado had him for a lot of the game, and then they
I
came
know.
back. And
They
I mean,
rushed
that
the
just shows, though, how good Bear probably is.
Yeah,
So.
no, he literally used his wheels to win the game, and he stopped making stupid passes towards the end. But
They could really develop him into a good QB.
It'll be
freshman.
interesting when that Lions comes in to see.
Oh,
Rider Lions, yeah.
True.
Going into some Holy War stats, Utah hasn't beat BYU since 2019. We also
A game I think I was at. Or was that...
Yeah.
That was in Provo.
Where's that video? Yeah, I feel like I remember watching that at your house.
that was
think
in
it was-
Provo.
okay,
We
okay,
won.
so I was
we
in
watched that
2018.
at his house.
We had a
2018
4-game win streak, and I think 3 of them were in Provo.
Okay.
Ending in 2019. But both teams are ranked. This has only happened once in the last 16 years. It was just by 1 point last year on that controversial holding call. We won't get too into that. But per UtahUtes.com, Utah leads the Holy War. 52 wins, 30 losses, and 4 ties. And I have a question. What was the first year we played BYU?
I want to go with 1820.
I want to say 8. I was gonna say 1870.
1905?
Oh, Oliver's close. 1896.
Yeah,
You guys want to know
way
the
off.
score?
Yeah.
We won 12-4.
Wow.
So I'm
So they had
assuming
two
2
safeties,
safeties.
That's awesome. I think that was back when they were like Provo Academy or something.
12-4. Okay,
1870.
next and
LDS
last.
Business College.
Yeah. And what is our largest margin of victory against a team down south?
20. I want to say like 50
63.
to nothing.
Okay, Harper was very close. We beat them 49-0 in 1926.
There you go.
That was a long time ago. Anyway, that's a little trivia for the Holy War. I think
it.
the Holy War just is an amazing thing. It riles the whole state together. You have a team. It's like
The
Duke
best
UNC.
rivalry,
You got Utah BYU. You're just born in one of the households, and you stick with that. Hopefully for the rest. We did see some BYU fans in the must last night. A little questionable. But
Uh-oh.
There were kids with their shirts off last night.
Yeah, I saw that.
well, Harper,
too.
do you want to
How
talk
did they do
about your friend who came in town from Arizona State
Yeah, I had a couple buddies come in from ASU last night. They were chilling in the muss
with their ASU gear on?
with their ASU gear on. It's kind of crazy, but it was fun to see. We were chirping them a little bit. We kind of got the muss a little riled up and had them chirping them as well. But yeah, it was a fun game, especially to be able to blow out a team like ASU like that, 42-10. I mean, that's
Did you see their coach? They're like, yeah, we got our butt whooped. We got outcoached. We got outplayed.
And he said he wouldn't be surprised if he saw them lose 2 or 3 more games in the season, which I think is
Well,
crazy.
Utah or Arizona State?
Arizona State.
Well, they
said
host
that.
Texas Tech next week.
No, it was not.
Yeah,
I
you
like
gotta
it.
have a little more confidence though.
I
Come
love
on.
that school's back this week because we get that BYU Hate Week on campus.
I agree.
Yes, it's gonna be
The
awesome.
culture on campus can be
Cross
great.
out every Y you see on campus.
Yep.
Literally.
Yep. We probably shouldn't even be calling them BYU. We should just call them Team Down
TDS,
South.
yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, Utah football. I think we're going in the right direction. It's good to, like Harper said, it just feels good as a Utah fan to get an authentic win. I know there's a little bit of an asterisk with Sam Levitt out, but BYU is going to be the biggest test of the season and arguably one of our hardest games for the rest of the year. It's just such a big game next week.
Yeah, 6 p.m. kickoff, night game in Provo. I don't think you could get more electric than that. I just got chills talking about it right here. So, I mean, yeah, there isn't a better scene in the Holy War. Both teams will be in, I guess, Utah all red, BYU all blue. It's just a beautiful scene, honestly.
Yeah,
Like
you love
just
to see
one of the
it.
most beautiful rivalries, most heated rivalries, honestly.
Yeah.
Hopefully
yeah.
the game doesn't get stolen from us again.
I just love
Yeah.
I just love that culture.
I hope
of
that-
everybody.
Yeah.
Hope that one ref
During the
is
game.
That game was
somewhere else.
I have a question, Harper. Do you feel like we were ready for that Texas Tech game? Do you feel like if we played them maybe later in the season, we would have had a better chance?
That's a great point. I think I was talking about this on the walk home last night. The way that the offense played yesterday, especially the run game, Devon Dampier being able to scramble, I think if we played Texas Tech now, I think it would be closer. If not, I think we could get a win. The defense did their job. I mean, the box score makes it seem like it was a blowout.
But
That
that was
game was a
just- yeah.
one-possession game
like
down until like
75% of the game.
10 minutes maybe, or like 5 minutes
Yeah,
left in
they
the
really
fourth
did.
quarter. So a really close game. If the offense going to have a performance like that every single game, dude, it's going to be hard to beat the Utes.
Yeah, that's a good
Seriously.
point. If we see him in the Big 12 championship, I hope that this is very true.
Yeah, for sure. Knock on wood, but
Yeah. Anyway, that's going to wrap up the Utah football segment. We don't have much Utah basketball news, but Ethan, who'd you meet at the football game last night?
I got to meet Terrence Brown. I got a picture with Terrence Brown, so that makes it 2 starting players for the Utah basketball team. I got a picture with Keanu Dawes and Terrence Brown. I'm going for the whole starting 5 plus Jerry Huang.
yes, sir.
Hope I
There's a
can
Gotta
get-
get, gotta
cool
get Jensen
ad
on
of
there
the
too.
game.
But I saw
For basketball?
For basketball.
I wanted to ask you guys in that picture if you recognize anybody in the back, because
I didn't.
I just took
He's
a
on
picture
the
with
team
Terrence,
now.
but there were some other people in the
I'm
back
gonna take a look right now.
but I see
I saw him
I'm
in the
walking with
ad.
Andy to go get a corn dog, and I see them coming out of the hot chocolate line. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's Terrence Brown. I go up to him.
I see Choppa in the back.
Choppa's in the back.
I
Why
think
didn't he
so.
get in the picture?
looks like Choppa.
No, what am I
Looks like him.
doing?
Anyway,
Okay, that's top 5 sales. But I went up to Terrence Brown. I'm like,
I don't know his name now.
oh, is that good? Sorry. I went up to Terrence Brown. I'm like, are you Terrence Brown? He's like, yes, sir. How you doing? I'm like, oh my gosh, it's great to meet you. Can I get a picture? He's like, of course. Take the picture. And of course, I had to cap it off with a little glaze. I'm like, it was an honor, Terrence. It was an honor.
Yeah,
Terrence
all right.
Brown.
Good
Terrence
luck.
Brown,
We should get him on the podcast.
I'm the most.
I would
him,
love to
bro.
get him on the pod.
I love him.
Shout out Terrence Brown. Come on the podcast. He reposted our graphic with him and
We
Devin
should
Dampier.
at him in like something like this. See
Yeah,
if he reposted again.
yeah, make a reel.
I'll
Shout
do
him
it.
out.
I'll do it.
He is the most excited player, in my opinion, for the upcoming season. Transferred from FDU, averaging 20 points a game. Went off in a bunch of leagues over the summer. Powder League dropped 50. 6'3" guard. Crazy bounce. Has a crazy dunk package. I just can't wait to see him. It seems like he always has a smile on his face. Showing love to all the fans. So shout out you, Terrence Brown. If you want to come on the podcast, DM us.
Wait, is Choppa actually is he
I
the one
think
putting up
so.
the U?
No, he's
Oh,
not
I
on the
think
right.
he's the one in
on
the in the back right there.
right
Right?
there, sipping the cup.
Does it look like him?
I don't know if that's Choppa.
Who's it been?
I
don't
saw
think
them
it
walking.
is.
I saw them walking though, and I saw Choppa with them.
Oh, it could be.
way.
Anyway, that concludes our Utah basketball news. We don't have much to talk about. We will talk more about Utah basketball, obviously, as the season comes closer. But right now, we're in full swing of Mammoth, Jazz, Utah football,
It starts,
RSL.
It starts up soon though, right?
Yeah, it's gonna start
Basketball?
getting busy here in a couple weeks. So
It's exciting. I
we
think.
got some exhibition games. I think this month at the end.
That's
so.
what I was about to ask if
Yeah.
there were exhibition or not.
Yeah, exhibition should be fun. Yeah, lots to look forward to. It's just, man, it's a great day in Salt Lake City. Weather's great. Sports are great. Oh, man, what a time to be alive.
Yeah, man, lots to look forward to.
Wow.
So, yeah, only thing I'll say is keep an eye out on the website for some articles that'll drop this week. We've been working on some good ones for you guys.
Oh, yes.
But yeah, other than that, big week ahead of us. Mammoth
Huge
4
week.
games, RSL trying to clinch the playoff, Holy War. So I don't know, man. Just a
Grab your
exciting week.
Yeah, grab your popcorn for Saturday. It's going to be a good one.
It is.
Thankfully, actually not thankfully, I really wanted RSL to win, but I said I would dye my hair if RSL and the Utes won, but RSL did not win. I don't know if I'll extend my bet towards the Holy War and RSL versus St. Louis, but
Go blonde.
no, I don't think I
Let's
can
just
do
do red. Utah red.
it. I know my dad's like, hey, I heard you on the podcast, and I vote for you to dye your hair red.
I love that.
Let's shave it and do a massive U.
Oh,
right in the
like
top.
Paul?
Yeah.
Remember when Paul did that?
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, he did that.
Yeah, he did that freshman year.
Dude, I
with
gotta
a
see
big
it.
red U in the back of his head.
I gotta
It
see
was
it.
tough.
Sick.
Follow all the socials.
Yeah.
Shout
check
out
out our
Ethan,
website.
guys. He's been editing
Yes.
like a
Thank you.
madman.
I'm gonna get some reels out for you guys.
Seriously,
Don't worry.
guys.
gonna
And
get
when's
all
the
the
next
real-
episode gonna? When is this gonna be out?
Well,
Monday.
this is gonna be out Monday morning. I'm gonna try and schedule it for like 8 a.m. to
That
come
is
out.
October 13th, Monday. You're probably listening on Monday.
I hope you guys get some. I'm gonna get some reels out too. I'm gonna cook some reels. First one's gonna be Terrence Brown. That's gonna get reposted everywhere, hopefully.
And yeah, Harper's been making updates to the website every
Looks
single
beautiful.
day. If there's
Give it a
any
round of applause for
sponsors that
Harper.
want to shout out, the
Yeah.
more money we get, the better the website gets.
Yeah,
The better our website gets.
Exactly. Yeah, we got plenty of free real estate on our website for ads. So
Shout out all the writers out there, guys.
Yeah,
Yes,
we've
sir.
got Harper covering mostly Mammoth Jazz. We got Ethan with the RSL article. Bryson Blue,
yes,
Bluey
sir.
boy.
our new addition to the writing team, got out an amazing Utah article where he already mentioned Sam Levitt was out before it was
Yeah.
even confirmed.
I know,
That's
and
pretty
awesome.
good right there.
And a prediction. He got the prediction right, so he's 1 for 1. So it's awesome to see.
Love to see it. Stay tuned. Big things coming for Grid City. X, Instagram, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, you name it. Hopefully, TikTok in the future. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. Tell everyone. Tell your buddies.
Tusks
Come
up,
check
baby.
us out. Tusks up.
Go
Take
Utes,
note.
baby.
Go Utes.
Go Utes. All right. Meet us in the ride where the battle hymns begin.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyway, we'll see you in episode 3.
I'll see you
See
guys.
you guys.
Shout out Harper for the website.